Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to lecture 32 of SBL. This is a very short lecture and topic is talent management. So we are mostly talking about humans, people, talent and one more model, that is Poppet model, the 4-view model. We are going to look at 4 aspects that is very important for success of any organization. So starting with talent management, okay? We all know what is talent. I don't think I have to explain you. But you have to manage that talent. Talent management means how an organizations identify, recruit, engage, and retain and develop those employees, those superior employees. Because employees, especially the talented employees, they are an asset to an organization. So you have to look after them. Okay. These are the key elements of talent management. Number one, in this type of organization, people are seen as a source of competitive advantage. So you spend on their training and development. It is not seen as a cost, it is rather seen as an investment. Second, you recruit them based on potential and cultural fit, whether they are suitable for your organization or not, based on their culture and potential that they have, not based on their CVs or their past experience. Third, they are seen, learning is very important. They are seen as essential and it is embedded in the culture of that organization. Okay. Employees have the expectation that they will learn and change. Okay, here they will have an expectation that they can learn and they can change and they can retrain also whenever the demand requires. Development and training of staff is part of the manager's role also. Changes outside the organization, if there are any changes that happens outside the organization, how do you reflect it inside? By giving training, by changing the control and the reward of the employees. Human resource is very important for strategic planning. It is no longer just a department or a function in an organization. No. For the strategic planning, it's now very important. And you share information. You share about their career path. Okay? You track their career path and you make them available for opportunities that can make use of their talent. So these are some key elements of talent management. Now moving on to the Poppet. A brief idea, you know this from the previous lecture also. But now we are going to discuss this in detail. 4-view model, because we are looking at 4 things. Starting with this. You can see people, organization, process, and information technology. So let's start with people first. People means having right skills and motivation, understand their task and their role. Staff needs to be developed to support business change. Resistance, remember, if they resist to change, it has to be managed. And you have to involve understanding and sometimes shifting the culture. Organization means success needs to be organized. See, success does not happen by accident. Remember this. Whenever there is success, it has been organized way before than you can imagine. Okay? People who are successful today, they have been working continuously for it. 5 years, 10 years behind that. You don't know. But it is always organized. Second, job roles needs to be clearly defined and understood. Without that, you cannot achieve success. Everyone needs to know what their job is. That is the meaning of organization. Third, there should be line of command. There should be a communication that needs to be effective. The organization structure has to support the strategy. We already went through the structure: divisional structure, matrix structure, autocracy structure, symbol structure. There needs to be a flexibility in changing environment, and bureaucracy has to be kept to minimum. Okay, whenever you want to change environment, it has to be done in a flexible way. Organizational support will be an important link between the other elements of the business system. Remember, this part of the model, organization, is very important, because if you do well in this part, other elements will automatically be on their place. Process. Remember, every organization has some process. A way a task is done, it has various stages, various levels. After this is done, that is done. So this has to be well defined, it has to be efficient, it has to be documented as well and understood also. High strategic importance and complexity, it has to go through improvement. And opportunities for improvement in other areas has to be explored so that efficiency is maximized. IT, we all know IT is very important for success of an organization. Okay, So IT needs to support the changes that are taking place within the system. Second, it has to give you the relevant information. Third, it should be able to replace those tasks that IT can do better than human. Fourth, it should facilitate organization change, process change, staff development. That means it binds all the other elements together. And this must be exploited to maximize benefit and minimize loss. One example we'll use without before ending this lecture is Kodak example. What did Kodak do? How did they make use of these four elements? See, Kodak created digital photography, right? But what did the senior manager do? They were very reluctant to exploit this opportunity that they got, which destroyed their film business model also. Because they were thinking that if they go through the digital photography, it will destroy their original business that was a film based business model, right? So 10 years before the digital photography became widespread, Kodak knew of this thread. But what happened? The organization and the people, both of them did not support IT and the process that existed within Kodak to exploit this technology. Kodak could have exploited this technology, they had it in them, but they did not exploit. Both the people and the IT. So, what happened? What happened? Digital photography was still there, it came up, but it was exploited by the rivals of the Kodak non-rival. And therefore, Kodak collapsed. Because Kodak was the organization, if you remember, he was the organization that originally created this technology, but they themselves then utilize it. So when to use this model? This model can be used to identify weaknesses in the system. Through this, you will know where you are lacking. Is it people? Is it IT? Is it organization? Is it the process? Wherever it is lacking, try to work on them. Remember, all these four are dependent on each other. If you're having an impact on people, it will have an impact on IT also. You can identify opportunities through this. For example, if you see your process, it is weak, you can improve it. But if you do not go through this one, how will you know your process is weak or it's not? You can improve it. Identifying areas that are not working well together. For example, you can see that your people are not so skilled to work on IT. Train them. Ensuring that all aspects of business change are considered. Remember, it is not just one aspect. Just changing IT will not help give you a massive success. No, you have to train on your people, it has to be organized, the process needs to be upgraded, then only IT will give you that benefit. Ensuring that project managers do not become too blinkered and ignore all organizational consequences. For example, what happens? Project manager, what do? They become very excited to create this excellent so-called process to minimize the time, to increase efficiency. What happens? But they forget that process is dependent only if they have successful people with the right skill to maintain that. Otherwise that will fail. Having right process will not help you if you do not have the people to carry that. So the summary is, with the talent management, we told people are seen as a competitive advantage. You train them, learning is embedded in the organization rather than taken as a cost. For Puppet, we went through people, train them, motivate them. Organization needs to be organized, process needs to be developed wherever you can see existing ones are not working, and IT, all three needs to support IT. Having the right skill, organized with the right process, and you exploiting the advantage of IT will bring the success, ultimate success for any organization. All the element needs to work together. And talent management, if you see, it is working on one part of it, that is people, right? So that's it for this lecture. And I know this is very short lecture, it's not even 10 minutes, but you will love it. I mean, because all my lectures, is very long. But anyway, thanks for watching, and do try to pick a question from this area, Puppet model. There will be questions from revision kit from past paper. Try to do it, and see you in the next lecture. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed. See you.